One of the indicators of doing a good job or being effective, one of them is knowing when you're doing a good job. And you know you're doing a good job when they're coming after you, when they don't like you, when they send bots after you, when they go back and they look into your life or what you did or your past or anything other than what you're saying. You know you're doing a good job when the focus and the goal of what you're doing is irrelevant. But all they want to do is just to embarrass because they don't have anything to say about what you're doing. And they'll do everything in their power to come after you. Everything. They do the usual stuff. Why do you keep talking about the same thing? What do you talk? You're jealous. You're horrible. And I've heard this. I've heard this repeatedly, and so have you. And I'm wondering who's running their show. Who seriously is running their show? How do these people plan to put up a fight when this is the best they can do? Seriously? No, seriously? So let me just tell you something. I alluded to it before, but I'm going to say it again. A couple of things here. I've seen this a gazillion times. The left, whatever, I don't know who they are. I think the left is the anti-right. Here in New York today, we had the No Kings March, and it was just ungodly. It was superb. It was superb in terms of how many people were there. I don't know what the message is. I'm not really sure, but it is really, really effective. They were so organized, the likes of which you can't believe. It was really good. Again, I don't know what I'm not sure what they're trying to say. I don't know. No Kings. I think it's Georgia Maloney or Around the World. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But the point is they got out. There was a man today I saw in a wheelchair. It was a little nippy. It was a bright day. It was a sunny day in New York, but it wasn't that terrific. Okay. It was not the best day to be out, but they were there en masse. It was beautiful. And they were fighting. And I'm saying, what do you think? What is it that they want? What is their thing? Why do they do this? What is their point? Lionel, the legend, live from England. Welcome, Stevie. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So what I'm seeing is, first of all, who are we? And what do we want? Okay? I don't know what you call us. We've got to have a name. I'm not sure what we do. We have a name. I don't want to say we're right and left. I think that stuff is stupid. But today I saw for the first time something very, very interesting. And by the way, the comments to what we are doing is terrific. The comments are wonderful. I never read comments ever on my show. Never, because they wwere terrible. I'm sorry to tell you, they were not very nice. They were like, wow. Could be better, but whatever. And in any event, I kind of read them and I thought, okay, fine. But then they became so incredibly kind and wonderful and generous and beauteous. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Seriously, loved them. And your words and your comments, you and my wife, it was wonderful. I thought, this is great. And we sort of, I think, for lack of a better word, kind of coalesced around the idea that we were in tremendous support of Candace Owens, what she was doing. Now, maybe I missed something here. Maybe you missed. Maybe I was out that day for school. I don't know. But I never signed on as an acolyte of Candace Owens, a minion, an apostle. I never. I think the world of her. I'm very impressed. But it was what she was saying and not what she was. You know that make any sense? How do I say this? It was what she was saying. Right? This is the thing that I was saying. It's what the purpose of this was. My politics, and maybe yours is the same way, revolves around ideas and concepts. And what those concepts and those ideas are critical to me. Not who is associated with the concept. Does that make any sense? I have never, and I've had a hard time with it. There have been some times when Trump has said something that I thought, this was really good. This idea is good. I like this idea. And there were other ideas. I didn't like that idea. I didn't care for that idea. I didn't like that idea. I didn't care for that idea. And when I would say this, people invariably would say, but I thought you liked him. I'm saying, no, you don't understand it. You're missing the point. I don't do politics like this. You understand that? This is the part which is the most difficult to understand. So as I'm today, Mrs. Ellen and I were walking. We had a nice little perambulation, a nice little semi-diurnal repast in the kitchen of hell in Midtown, right around Columbus Circle. The place was packed. People coming in. The traffic was crazy for this no kings. And I said, what is it that what is it that they're fighting for? What is it? I still don't know. They don't want kings, or they don't want, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But they were out there, and I respected it. I don't understand what it is, but I like the fact that they were parking, and it was a bitch to get around. These people were coming from the west side. I don't know where the buses dropped them off. It was packed. And it's not easy to get to, Times Square or rather Columbus Circle from any place. The west side, east, doesn't really matter, but they were there. They were committed to what I don't know. Because one of my rules of politics also, and I call this politics just in general, is that you have to be able to articulate what it is that you want. What is it that you're about? Tell me what you're about. Okay, so when all this stuff happens and all this neat stuff is going on, I'm finding out simultaneously there's this thing called CPAC. And CPAC, where is CPAC, honey? Where is this? Where? Yeah, CPAC. Do you know what CPAC is? Anybody know what CPAC is? Conservative Party, Conservative Political Action Committee, conservative. You know what that is? Anybody? Oh. Spend a lot of money meeting, and they all get around and they pretend that they're cool people. They're cool. Ooh, I got a picture with Judge Janine or whoever. Ooh. What is this? What am I, a child? What is the Bay City Rollers? What the hell are you talking about? Ooh, look, there's Sean Hannity or whoever. I don't even know. I mean, this isn't politics. This isn't it. This isn't it. What are you talking about? So it's not that group. Where are the conservatives? Who are these people? These are like, there's a word, star effers. There she is. Here's trouble. Here comes trouble. Here's Renee. How did you develop your astounding vocabulary, Mr. L? Left field, I know. Oh, you know what? A love of the mother tongue. And by the way, yesterday I was watching a documentary on Paddy Chayefsky. Paddy Chayefsky is my dream, my hero. He wrote the screenplay for Network. You have tampered, meddled with the forces of nature, Mr. Bill. It's Paddy Chayefsky. It was, and you think when the Russians get up every day, they discuss Marx? No, they talk about this. It's kind of like a realism point. So back to what I was saying. So we're doing our thing, and we're doing all this stuff, and we're running around, and we're in FedEx. We're doing all this kind of jazz. I'm looking at my phone, and I'm looking at your wonderful pieces, or this. I wrote this point about Candace Owens because I just think she's. I guess I admire her, but I like what she's doing. And sometimes to make it easy, I say Candace Owens versus. How do I say this? Versus. I guess you might want to say the subject. I'll make it sound like it's Candace Owens versus the subject. That makes any sense, okay? And people are saying, be careful. Know what she's all about. I think, Ooh, this is good. She must be getting near pay dirt here, because now we're getting not only bots, but we're getting a lot of people coming after her individually. So she must be doing something correctly, because that's what you hear. That's what you hear invariably when somebody comes after you. And I thought, yes, whatever it is, I don't even know, but good for her. And it made me think, God, I wish I could go online right now, because I want you to understand. I don't know if you've been through this before, but I've been through it a million times with me, with everybody else. With whether it's, they went after Rush Limbaugh, they went after, and again, you don't have to like, please, I'm not liking these people, but I remember they went after him, but he was selling orange juice for Florida orange juice, and they went after her. The same way they tore after Anita Bryant. Remember Anita Bryant? Anita Bryant, I thought, was kind of like, she believed that she was against gay marriage and gays. That took a lot of balls that they trashed her. Again, not her ideas, but her. I didn't think about the time. John Wayne. A lot of other people. I don't remember do you remember the lefties being trashed? Do you remember? And again, please forgive me. I'm saying left, right, conservative. I'm just using these terms because I don't have time to, specify the particular, the rubric or the appellation, the taxonomy. Do you mean neoconservative? Do you mean a paleoconservative? No, but you see where we're going right now? We are this close to finding there's so much great stuff that is going on right now in the world. So much great stuff. I have got to tell you. And I wanted to spend some time with you today, and I put out a piece. I want you to remember the good stuff. Don't think for a moment that the other serious good stories don't apply. MK Ultra and all the other great conspiracy theories and all of the other parts of kind of all the other parts that are affecting us. You're living right now, and this is important for you to understand. You're living through a moment that most people will understand only years from now. You got that? Only years from now will people get this. They're not, because they can't get it now. And don't expect people to grasp what is happening now. Don't expect it. Believe me. Good luck with this. But you are seeing something which is so incredible. These are people right now who are, I guess when it's too late, maybe they'll find something out. Right now, we're looking at stuff which feels like, and I remember the great analogy. I was thinking about this when I did that piece today. It reminds me of noise versus message. You remember this one? It seems like noise, not message. Years ago, when SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence or whatever it was, they would take all of these. They would take just myriad, endless, countless pieces of data and blips and quasars and notes and all this kind of jazz, and it was all kind of put together, in these this noise. And they looked for patterns. They tried to find something that looked like or mimicked what they might consider to be something to the effect of, I don't know, signals, something. And when they did this, interesting enough, sometimes they say, hey, look, we've got something. Now, interesting to note, I don't know why, interesting that they could have said, well, why don't you maybe talk to all the people who met individuals from other worlds, and why don't you maybe, talk to them? Wouldn't that be groovy? I appreciate this, but rather than listening to all this, why don't you take the people who have met, dare I say, folks from around the universe, instead of worrying about these little, anyway. So what they did was they said, this is noise. This is not a message. We're not getting a clear message. This is noise. I said, okay, fine. And it was chaos. By the way, chaos is the opposite of cosmos. Cosmos is order. And that's how this thing works. So when they did this and they put this all together, they realized something kind of interesting. They realized, interestingly enough, there's really not much out here And that's kind of what it seems like to you. You ever feel where the news is hitting you? There's so much information, there's so much data. You don't know how to sift through it. It's like, what am I getting? AI, I told you we saw that, what's called the AI doc, or How I Became an Apocalyptimist. It's okay. It didn't really explain enough of what it was. How long have you known me? And how long have I been talking about AI and AGI? How long have I used the word AGI? How long have I been talking about it? How long have you heard me say that this is going to be the absolute, there's Dee Dee. There's trouble. There's Dee Dee. Hide the cooking, Sherry. There's Dee Dee. You know how she gets. Hey there, D. D squared. Actually, 2D would be DD. D times D would be D squared. But I digress. But what do you call all this stuff? But I've been saying this. I remember one time when I was, doing TV, they said, I said, one of these days, you're going to have something come along and they're going to put something together that looks like an X-rated piece, but it's not. It's going to be generated. And he said, are you talking about that again? I'm saying, this was AI. I didn't even know what AI was, but I was talking about it because I could see it where the law says, this isn't what you think it is. There's a lot of stuff happening. As I told you last week, it's important for you to understand and grasp. And what my intrepid and beautiful wife tells you. This past week in New Mexico and in California, the two victories against social media, against Meta in particular, dealt with the design of the system and not the content. And this is just, wow. This is huge, huge. Or as we say in the kitchen, huge. So right now it feels, I don't blame you, it feels kind of like noise. It feels like chaos. It feels like you're not really sure what this is. It's not making a lot of sense, and it's not the clearest thing in the world for you to get through, but it's true. But you're hearing this and you're going through this endless arguments and all this, but you got to step back for 1 second and you got to look at the pattern and look at the direction of what's happening and look at the consistency of this, lack of a better word, confusion. And none of this is accidental. By the way, do you think things are ever, do you believe that things are coincidental? Do you believe that? Do you believe there's coincidence? Do you think things just happen like, ooh, hey, that's interesting. That's entropy. I don't know. Because this is not about one story, one controversy, or one personality, or one thing. This is about something far bigger. And by the way, Candace might be spearheading this, but this is about something bigger. This is about the slow conditioning of a group of people to doubt their own instincts, because they're asking you to listen to this dingbat, Erica, and not say, wait a minute, this woman's full of shit. Oh, no, don't say that. Why not? Why not? Why? Oh, because no, she's see what they're doing? Oh, no. What do you mean, no? Who do you mean? Don't you, you're telling me not to notice this? They want you not to trust your own instincts. They want you to argue with, I guess, yourself, to lose focus on what really matters. See, that's their game. And they're doing by going after you and then me and everybody else, and they're going after Candace. Now listen, Candace doesn't, believe me, she's doing fine. She's got a lot of folks out there that love her and respect her, and I think that's great, and I think it's wonderful. But I love a good fight, and this is a fight. This is a fight. I can't explain enough to you why it's so critical. We can't let them win this. And let me explain this to you. Is Charlie the beginning and the end of everything? Well, maybe not. But you know what the beginning and the end is? It's the fact that we have to ask permission for what we're talking about. I mean, seriously. And look, you can call it what you want. People love this. Psyops. They love that. Narrative shaping, influence, cognitive dissonance. The old one was menticide, which is brainwashing, which is defined as the systematic destruction of a mind's ability to think clearly. Not through force, not through brute force, but through overload. They want you to be able to not think clearly. And they're giving you something. They're giving you this story about Candace. as an example. And it'll be something else. It's not even going to have this. It's going to be something else. But right now it's fun, but they're telling you back off. We say, oh, no. They're going after Joe Kent next. Have you seen this? Oh, Joe Kent, he's a psyop. Wait a minute. He's from the intel, but well, I know he's from counterterrorism. He's telling you, oh no, don't believe him. I say, wait a minute. And then you got these professional skeptics. I'm not going to mention their names, but you know who they are. And these people are such a pain in the ass. What they do is they just sit around all the day and they love to say, oh, I don't believe this and I don't believe that. Well, what do you believe in? What do you believe? Oh, don't trust Tucker. Why? Well, because don't trust Candace. Look, I'm not giving them money. I'm not voting for them. I'm just telling you, what are you talking about? These people are miserable. They don't believe in anything. Look, all I know is I'm leading. We're lost, all right? We're trying to get our way back to the garden, as Joni Mitchell would say. And we're coming across people say, what do you think? This way? Yeah, okay, let's go. Who's that guy? I don't know, but he seems to know what he's doing. Let's go this way. That's all we're doing. But they're not going to tell us what to do. Because if they think, see, the Republicans are the worst. They think they can tell you what to do. They think, listen, we're going to vote for this particular war, and you're going to go along with it. And if you don't believe in this war, you're un-American. You know what? F you and the horse you rode in on. I'm not going to do that. F you and rotate, buddy. Sorry. It doesn't work like that. They still think they can do it. And each side is so cool. Thank God the left is incoherent. I don't know what this No Kings is about. By the way, you notice that? You brought it up today, honey. Guess what? All white people. All white people. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you're trying to form a revolution and you have one particular faction, I got news for you, black folks, 14-15% of the population. And in New York, this is big. Latinos, white, get nowhere to be found. This was country club white folk stuff. And I'm not saying white folks in the pejorative. I'm saying white folks in that these are crisis actors. These are professional kabuki. Remember the pussy? Pardon me. Sorry. Remember that? Remember that women's march thing? What was that about? You see any sisters in there? Brothers? Any hermanitos? No. They fool themselves. See, the best part about the left and the right, they think they're cool. You should see these. We're at CPAC. Here I am with Jesse Waters. Who gives a shit? What does this mean? You know who we've met? I'm not going to put pictures of this up. What are you talking about? This is where it's come. Your politics is you paid money to go meet somebody and take a picture and a selfie? That's your politics? My politics is about the future. Mine is about the rudiments of this constitutional republic. I'm talking about life or death, and you're talking about, playing kissy with these people. Oh, God. But the same thing. The radical left think they're channeling these avatars. Oh, look, I'm a hippie again. What are you talking about? It's incoherent. Maybe incoherent, but I'm a hippie again. I'm saying something. What are you saying? I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, what is it? Here's what I'm saying. They killed Charlie. It wasn't Tyler Robinson. And if it was, he was there. He had his thumb up his ass. He didn't know what he was doing. And they're telling you it's not. They're going after Candace. And there is a cabal. There is a conspiracy. There's a group of people who think they can take out anybody they want. And they're wrong. And we're going to show them otherwise. That's it. Any questions? Now, we got to figure out who. I'm not going to point fingers who, but there's a lot of people acting really weird. A lot of people. And as I said before, all the information is available. All of the information is available. All of the information is available. And it's right in front of us right now. Right in front of us. And somebody's going to sift through this and say, you know what? And I'm telling you, it's going to be AI. It's going to be AI. But understand, keep in mind how things work also. See, they want you to feel there's too much information. There's too many angles, too many contradictions. They want you confused. See, eventually people, they give up. They give up trying to make sense out of everything. I mean, that's the best they can do. And that's the point. They just want you to sit around and, Now, we've talked about something, and I want to talk about it because you've indicated a tremendous interest in MK Ultra, Gottlieb and CIA, and this is real stuff. And most people treat it like it's some kind of a relic, maybe something buried in the past, like something that we're not really doing anymore. But the lesson was never about what happened back then. It's what's happening now. And by the way, you're probably thinking like most people do. They say, oh yeah, MK Ultra. You mean LSD? And remember, they did Whitey Bulger. They did Ted Kaczynski. It was big, but through drugs and everything. We're not talking drugs now. Guess what the drug is? This is your drug. Your phone's your drug. Apps are drugs. Algorithms are your drug. This is different. This is, I don't use that old neuro-linguistic programming stuff, but it's kind of something like that. You see, the lesson was very important. The lesson was that what is possible is probable. And if institutions once explored ways to influence perception, which is what I want to do, perception, behavior, belief, do you really think those interests and those people just vanished? Or did they evolve? You know, when I was in one of the things that were very, very critical to me when I was a youngster, young and in college, I loved in psych, I was a psych major, whatever that means, perception and awareness. And I loved it. I thought it was the most interesting thing I've ever seen. One was the moon illusion. And you've seen this a million times. And the moon illusion is representative of the illusion versus a hallucination. A hallucination is something that's not there. A hallucination is something that just, it's just not there. You're creating it out of whole cloth. Either a sound, a picture of it's not there. You're just imagining this. But an illusion is different. Sometimes when you see it looks like there's steam coming off of the road. That's an illusion. That's a different thing. That's the way light is, heat, and whatever. But the light's not getting wavy. But one of the most important things was the moon illusion. When the moon is at the horizon, it looks sometimes huge. It looks enormous. When it's at its apex, it's tiny. Same radius. Why is it different? Good luck. Discuss it all you want. Look at this. Jamie just gifted 5 nation memberships. Jamie, you are Jamie Burlington, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Bless your heart. That's beauteous. Makes me cry. So what happened was they did this, and photographers were noticing, how come when we get our pictures back, how come when we get our photos back, like if you take a picture of the moon is this big, why doesn't it seem that big? Or why doesn't it seem whatever? And it's in reference to the horizon and objects that are closer to you. So your brain creates this. Your brain says, since I know these objects are closer, this must be closer. There's no way this. Anyway, it's an illusion. Okay? And we can talk about it all day long. Look at this. George Lenn says, have you followed the story of the top U.S. research scientists disappearing? Yes, including a U.S. general from Wright-Patterson. This is sobering. Not only sobering, but it's like, what the is this all about? Oh, absolutely. On WABC, overnights, Monday through Friday. I've talked about it. And George, nobody's talking about this, which is another thing. What is your government doing? What is your federal government doing? Where do they go? What do they care about? What do they care about? They're out for 2 weeks. Doing what? Spring break. They're what? They're also freaking out over the fact of what happened with those, believe me, and Mrs. L and her compatriots, those brave mothers and fathers and relatives whose family members died at the hands of the Zuckerbergs. They are puckered, my friend. They are scared, which is good. But there's so much stuff out there. Look, you see, George, you ask the questions. Most people I know, they're worried more about Tiger Woods. Who gives a shit about Tiger Woods? He's a drunk. He's a drug addict. There's a joke about he's the best driver and the worst driver, And also what's interesting is they're saying, well, what's going to happen with Vanessa Trump? Because she was supposedly dating him. Come on. Who cares? Good, worry about that. Trump says, I don't want you to drive with him. Did you believe that? Do you believe any of this stuff these people tell you? Seriously? I mean, it's okay. If you find it interesting, that's fine. I don't care. So what? This is the most important thing in the world. The stuff that I'm talking about, that we're talking about. Let me also add something. If you throw in modern tools into this, you see big tech platforms, they track your behavior down to the second. Algorithms that learn everything about you, what triggers you. You have accelerometers on your phone. You can tell where you're going, how fast you go, where you go to the same place all the time. What are you doing here? Do you ever walk into a CVS or something, and all of a sudden they say, oh, look, there's an ad for, it knows where you are. We know that. It knows what angers you, what keeps you enraged, what keeps you up, what keeps you down, what you scroll. AI systems that generate narratives, amplify voices, bury others, and create, just like the old days, they'd stick the dope in your arm. This is a different story. They create the illusion of consensus, and you don't need crude propaganda anymore. You don't need Big Brother. You don't need some guy standing there telling you what to do. You are being watched like you cannot believe. Jamie says, after COVID, then Joe Biden, we finally get Trump back, and now he's acting like a lunatic. You know what? A lot of people are saying that, Jamie. Well Dog says, Lionel, I sent you a message on the website on data harvesting. Thank you. Yes, I did. I thank you for that, and I will peruse it with great ardor. What is going on with Trump? I mean, what was that thing where what was it, CPAC, where they were booing him or something? Who was it? And they said, oh, no. Oh. Yeah, there was something where people were, what was I saying? There was something at CPAC, and he thought they were talking about impeaching Democrats, and the crowd was about impeaching him. Listen, let me explain something to you, okay? Life is a bitch. Okay? Years ago, I knew somebody who had a teacher, and she said, looking at my names, and I have a class, sometimes you can tell if they're a boy. This is before, this gender shit. Anyway, so she said, I got a kid named Life. And I don't know if it's a woman or a man. I said, it's a woman, because life's a bitch. And that was my line. And it worked, and it was funny, and it stuck. I didn't email you, said, 2 items I will not move beyond. Charlie Kirk's demise and the Epstein files. If we let these issues fade, we lose our humanity. They are trying to distract us. Absolutely. Absolutely. Distraction, divergence, keeping you not focused accordingly. 100%. We tell you, imagine this. You have a housekeeper. I don't know what that's like. Never had a housekeeper. I don't want a housekeeper. We've never had anybody come in and vacuum. We don't want anybody in our place. We'll take care of it. We'll do it. We're not too proud. This woman can, let me tell you something. Housekeeper, she's the best. Nobody can scrub a tub like you, honey. So anyway, but if we did, if for some particular reason, let's say we were ill, and let's say there was something missing, and I've got Pedrito who all of a sudden said, hey, did you take something? And he said, well, I'm going to talk about something. No, come here. No, come here. Sit down. I'll tell you when we're done. Did you take something? He can't change the subject. He can't say, well, no. That's what these people do. They think they can change the subject. They think they can change the subject. They think, no, Mike Johnson thinks, we're not talking about that. They're not asking you anything about war. Well, listen, trust me, the Strait of Hormuz. What? Get your ass back here. I can't believe it. I can't believe these folks. Let me ask you something. I think I know you. I think I know you. I think I know you. I think you're pretty reasonable. Is there anybody here, seriously, who, to use the terrible street term, anybody here have a hard on for Iran? Anybody? Anybody? Seriously. Seriously. I'm not saying, hey, trust them. Well, no. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust New Jersey. I don't trust anybody. Well, they've said some pretty bad stuff about us. They said stuff about us in New Jersey. What does this mean? What, a bomb Jersey? Do you want to go out and you want to send our American men and women and soldiers and Marines and sailors out to? Did you see this $13 billion ship? Shit. Oh, funny I said shit. Because the toilets are backing up and they send the laundry out to other places to get done. The facilities are so bad. Imagine 4,000 men on the ship. They're sending laundry out. What are you talking about? What is going on here? You can't, we're not hiding. You can't take a convoy and head towards your way and say, gee, I wonder what they're up to. What are you doing? What are you doing? And I don't give a damn if this is Trump or Biden or anybody else. What are you doing? I remember one time we were talking recently, and a bunch of us were talking, and somebody said, well, how's your son doing? So, he's doing fine, getting out of school. He's thinking about some other. That's interesting. What's he thinking about? Well, I want to go into finance or or the military. And everybody said, no. Isn't that terrible? Would you let your son get anywhere near the Marines? Marines? Coast Guard, if that even counts. Navy? Air Force? Okay, right. Air Force Base? Okay. Yeah, maybe. Army? What kind of army? What army? Marines? Hell no. No way. Have you heard these recruitment things? There's this one where you hear these bombs. The few, the proud, the Marine. You don't want to hear that. I'm hit. What is this glorifying war? What are we doing? Would you, dear God, this has nothing to do with, I'll tell you this much. Same argument. Ask somebody, ask a teacher, would you recommend somebody go into the teaching profession? They'll say, hell no. With the unions and this and the overtime. No. That's not about teaching. It's the system. It's the system. That's what we're talking about. I don't understand. And Epstein files? I've never seen anything like it. There's no, what this is about. When this Acosta in Florida said, I've got to go up, I've got to do this deal. But he said, because he's intel. He said it. They don't even care about it. You see, this is what I'm trying to tell you. They don't care what you think. They don't care. And what they're telling Candace is, F you. We'll tell you what's going on with Charlie. We're going to pave over a murder scene, and the hell with you. So you could take you and your little friends and your little, don't forget, we're, COPAC, Candace Owens, Political Action Committee. You can take all your friends and you can get the hell out of here because we're in charge. Who do you think you are? You don't tell us what to do, Missy. This isn't, you want to play around with whether Macron's got a dick. That's your problem. But this is big time and you ain't going to touch this. This is ours. So beat it. That's what they're telling her. You know what she's saying? You. I'm not going anywhere. So they're going to trash her. Keep it. Candace, we're with you. And whoever's next. Virginia Giuffre, they whacked her. Cash Patel, I'm getting laid. Good, Cash. Get out of here. Why don't you take your girl and get on your plane and beat it? Somebody give me a man, a grown man, maybe somebody who's got grandkids or something, somebody who's not trying to score, trying to, not some, I'm sorry, earth ugly freak who's been walking. I'm sorry. Look, I'm going to say the way it is. When you're walking around and seriously, when you walk in a room your whole life and people say, it's got to weigh on you. But now he's Mr. Tough Guy. And then you've got that other numbnuts, that Dan Bongino. Who's this guy? Oh, he's just dying to be a tough guy. He's dying to be. Did you see him run like a little bitch the other day when he was at some event? They go, yeah, your PDF file, you. And he ran by somebody. Who are these people? You want to be tough? It's incredible. These are the sleaziest, weirdest people I've ever seen in my life. And do me a favor. This goes for Hegelian and it goes for Bobby Kennedy Jr. Stop with your push-ups. What is the matter? What are you, 15 years old? Stop this. Imagine George Marshall. George Marshall couldn't do a pull-up to save his life. He was maybe the greatest American we've ever had. Bar none. Oh, I know. Oh, no. We're tired. And President Trump, listen, my friend. You know what's going on here. And I know a lot of people. And remember something, my dear friend. We love you. I think it's great. Thank you for what this man did. But understand something. You are not blessed. You might have been blessed in Butler, but you are not blessed. You are not guaranteed anybody's support. Period. If you go to a restaurant and all of a sudden you say, things are, and you don't go anymore. That's politics. That's it. And what happens is you go there and you lie to people. You tell people, and I'm going to do this, and you lie. And you go there, and as soon as somebody gives you a check, let me tell you something. I love everybody here right now. I love everybody. Jamie Burlington, Paige, everybody. I love you. You guys are great. My wife, obviously, me, my family. What? But I got to tell you something. Nobody has ever given me $1 million. And I want to think that you give me $1 million and I will never hurt a child or anything like that. No. But if I'm in the politics, and somebody comes from me and says, we got a deal for you. Excuse me. And we've got $1 million for you, not just your campaign, because you know how these campaigns work. So you get the money and then you keep them. See, Bill de Blasio, who he was the mayor of New York, New York. He was supposedly running for office. He ran so that you have these campaign offices, these committees. And what they do is they can give you $1 million. You can say, well, it's not my money, but you have travel, administrative fees, an office, and you can it's your money. They'll just give it a name for something, it's your money. And it's a great way for you to make money on the back end. It's just a campaign. No, it's not. It's money to you that's theoretically in the name of this. This is what they do in Hollywood. This is what they did. This is the way they paid off Obama and Michelle. This is what they did. You don't think they don't give them the money up front like Biden. Biden figured he's going to kick any moment. That's for you. He didn't do that. They told Obama, you're going to be a producer at Netflix. What? Trust me. This is when USAID was, and that still may be around. We'll send it that way. You'll get it on the back end. Next thing you know, Michelle and Barry decided that they were making, oh my God, a shitload of money just in production and all legit. Where it came from, I don't know. Then he wrote a book, maybe 2 books. Nobody read. That's the money. And then this, that's the money. In New York, we have buildings that are right around Billionaires Row. How many stories? 120 stories. It'd be ridiculous. An apartment, 70 million, 100 million. I mean, and you're saying, who's buying this? China, Russia, Europe, Turkey, billionaire, all over the place. You buy it, and next thing you know, guess what? You refinance it, pull the money out. They're just empty. They're just empty. They're just sold, but so it's all getting your money and putting it away and all this kind of jazz. So these people come to Congress, and somebody says, I'm going to pay you $1 million. And if somebody ever said, here's $1 million, I would think, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to vote for this minuscule little bill. Because a lot of people would say, you know what, the hell with this. I'm busting my ass. Do you know that when you go to Congress, you don't have any special living expenses? These people have to live together. Some people live in their office. It's brutal. And it's one thing if you're from New York, it takes, 2.5 hours on a train, nice little Amtrak ride. But if you're in California, you got to go to Washington. It's a pain in the ass. A lot of people say, nobody appreciates me. I don't know what I do. I'm serious. If I had kids and this and that and the bills and nobody cares for me. It's very easy. It's very easy these people are bought. I mean, bought hook, line, and sinker. How about this? How about if you're Mike Johnson and somebody comes along and says, hey, Mike, how about this? We have we have these AI things coming along. And we're going to put in Louisiana a facility that is bigger. It is. Did you see that one was about as big as Central Park? The actual, this is the square footage is equivalent to Central Park, and the electricity and the money and you wouldn't believe the what do I say, the water and the energy, but that's going to be in your area. And Mike, how would you like that in Louisiana? Doesn't matter where it is for us. What do we care? How about that? Speaker of the House? It's your area? He's Louisiana, right? Yeah. How'd you like that, Mike? Yeah. Great. And the largest meta data facility is in Louisiana. Guess what? He's a Speaker of the House. They know what they're doing. That is called bribery. But it's not. It's called influence or politics or whatever. You see how this thing works? They want to somehow tailor reality to each individual, and you will see that particular fact via the prism that they want you to see. And see, this is where people get lost. See, they think that control looks like force or something. It doesn't. Control looks like choice. Endless choices. Oh my God. You're free to scroll, free to argue. Please argue, talk, react, bitch, moan, complain. But every option that you have is inside a system that is shaping what you see. You don't have any options. You don't have any control. You think, well, look at all the choice I've got. It's not choice. You've heard of the Overton window? It doesn't slam shut. It slides. It slowly, quietly. It's incredible. What was once unthinkable is now debatable. And what was debatable is now acceptable. And what was acceptable becomes unquestionable and fact. And if you're not paying attention, you wake up one day and you realize, the boundaries have moved. The boundaries have moved without me noticing. Isn't that something? It's wild. You see, when I try to tell people things, they look at me like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I want to believe in a very simple world. I want to read the New York Post or whatever it is. I want to watch Fox News or MS Now. And I want certitude. Who are the good guys? The good guys are scattered out. Some people are good, some people aren't. The people who are looking out for you are people on platforms like this. What's in it for me? Think about this. What's in it for me? If I tell you the truth or lie to you, nobody's paying me. I mean, we get paid for, people who watch this stuff, we creators. That's just numbers. You don't get $250 a hit if they're Republicans, but $350. No. If people watch you, if they like you, that's it. But short of that, who am I doing this for? Why do I have to tell you the truth? Why do you believe what I'm saying? I hope you do. Why? Zamet says, Lionel, if you want to know how high this goes, please read Trump's announcement on Truth Social of the demise of Charlie Kirk. Zero emotions of a friend that got him in office. Well, that's true. Very odd. If indeed that was the person who wrote it. If he wrote this, I know, I'm with you. Sometimes I think his affect does not necessarily bespeak the events. George Len says, well, were once vices are now habits. That's Doobie Brothers. Tell me what you want now. Tell me what you want, and I'll tell you tell me what you want, and I'll give you what you need or something. What were once vices? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. No, but you're right, though, Zamet. You're right. The whole thing is weird. The whole thing is very, very strange. You know what I'm afraid of also? I'm afraid that we are becoming too acclimated to murder. Oh, well. We talk about, well, today we took out the second in command, the second high Mullah Bula Mufti in Iran, the most honorable. Was that their legal, their religion? Yeah, it was their leader. Are they pissed off? Who cares? What if they did that to the Pope? Oh, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. Let me tell you something. You better hope to God they don't touch the Al-Aqsa Mosque. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I don't care who you are. I used to have a friend of mine, this old guy, who he's always say, remember one thing. And please, I'm not trying to be deliberately gross here, but he says, don't fuck with a falcon unless you can fly. Oh. See, one of the things that we always do is we never understand who how do we say this? You have to understand tell me about the enemy. Tell me what they want. Where are we going? Before we go, let's say I'm the commandant, not the commandant, but I'm the supreme leader of the expedition, or whatever the hell I am. I'm at CENTCOM in Tampa. And I've got Delta Force or whatever. I go, no, wait. Tell me where we're going. You want boots on the ground. Where you want boots on the ground? In Iran? In Tehran? Yeah. Tehran. You want us to land in Tehran? Where? How many of us? Where is Tehran? Is it on the coast? Is it inside? Where is it? What's the temperature? Is it a city? Is it elevated? How do you get there? Is there an airport? What are people going to say when we're there? What do these people look like? Can we blend in? Stupid things. What about the food? What about the logistics? How long do you want to be there? How long do you want to be there? What are we going to do there? And what do you expect us to do? Are they going to like us or hate us? Tell me. What is it? What's our goal? What's our mission? What do you want to do? How do we know how do we know we're there? It's one thing when you say, I want you to I want you to dig for gold. When you find the gold, you can stop. You know, little things like that. You know, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. What's our goal? What do we want? Who's with us? We go in and we topple. Do we have insurgents there? Does anybody helping us? Are we on our own? Are we backing rebels? Who are the new people going to be? Okay, we knock this guy off. Who's the new guy? I don't know. I'm not even talking about how we get there, what kind of ammunition. No. What are we going to do? What's the point? How do I get out? What about my men? Where do we hide? Where do we take shelter? What do? We land and we do what? Where do we go? Imagine what. Let me ask you something. You imagine this. Take your town. I know you're from everywhere. You're from wonderful places. I love to do this. Just give me an idea. Just give me the name of your town. Just the name of your town. Not even the state. Just give me the name. What's the name of it? When they send you something on your postcard or you get your bill or whatever it is, there's a name, not your state. Look at this: Hershey, Florida. That's a state. Albuquerque, and you can spell Albuquerque. Tromaville. That's New Jersey, honey. You know Tromaville. You know where that is. Tromaville. Wow, I never heard it. Wash your hands. Utica. Look at this. Grafton, Brinkley. I love this. Brinkley, Maysville, Oklahoma City, Mississauga. Ooh, that sounds like very, very. You got this one? Okay, good. San Diego, beautiful place. Asheville. Oh, I gotta take you to the Asheville. Is the mansion open? Anyway, how about Bethlehem? I take it that's in Pennsylvania. Okay. Ooh, Coventry. Now let's see. I'm gonna land in Bethlehem or Coventry or Griffin or Little Rock or Wilshire or South Australia. I'm going to land Cedar City. All of a sudden, what's this? We land. Land where? Roanoke, Hamilton, Stockton. We land. Where? Where? Come on, boots on the ground. Where we go? And the people in Stockton or Staten Island or Glasgow, those wonderful, are you a Glaswegian or whatever you call? All of a sudden you say, what's this? What are they doing? We're going to start blowing things up and then what? And then we're going to end up pissing people off. All these people who might have maybe, I don't know, listened to us. Had we been a little bit more patient, they're going to say, screw this. Who's this guy? I guarantee you there are people in New York that I've always wondered about this. If you turn them loose, honest to God, turn them loose on folks, and you ever said to them something effective, hey, they're coming to us from, let's say, China. You could get the brothers and the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans and everybody around here and everybody, and you would see new combatants because we would know this area. We would know where to go. We know where to hide. We know what for. I just don't understand it. I don't understand what is the goal of this war? What do we want? What do they want? What is regime change? I don't understand that. Look, I'm not a genius. I just don't understand it. And basically, remember, don't forget Gulf War I. It was Brett Scowcroft and George Bush said, once we stop, that's it. We're not gonna go to Baghdad. We're getting out of here. It's exactly what they did. But I don't know who's telling Trump what to think. I don't know. And I'm afraid that sometimes President Trump likes to play general too much. And that scares me. I don't want to play general. I don't play, no. Because the people who've been in war, the people know what they're talking about. But going back to this, they want us to go away. And they want us to stop what we're doing. And I think Charlie is one thing. And I think you brought up Epstein. And we're not going away. We're not done with this. And you haven't done anything. Where's Pam Bondi? What did they say? Well, she's hiding out. Or not hiding, but she's being protected at some military base. Okay. Did you see? Oh, they are deep diving on Kash Patel like you can't believe. This guy is like, he's the most. I mean, what? Does he do anything? Does he invoke any kind of faith on your part? What's going on here? Back to what's going on. They're telling us that we can't say this. See, how does all this happen? This is it happens through distraction, through division, which is why we can't turn on each other. I can't say this enough. We can't turn on each other. There's nobody here in this room that I have a beef with. Nobody. No, it's these people. Through making sure that you are constantly focused on each other and Candace and make this personal instead of the structure above you, that's where the problem is. Look around you right now. People are at each other's throats over what? Over personalities, over labels, over narratives. There are people who march today for one particular reason. They hate Trump. Not because they hate the concept. They hate his thoughts or his ideas, but they hate Trump. And they hate narratives that change by the week. That's not a coincidence. That's a feature. Because listen to me, as long as you are fighting horizontally, you're not looking vertically. This is a big antitrust lingo. I want to know the structure, not the people on the ground, but I want to know how this thing works. Who's in charge of this? See, and that brings us to something which is interesting, far older than any algorithm. And you've seen this before, my friend. This is the Hegelian dialectic. Oh my God. Problem, reaction, solution. Thesis, antithesis, synthesis. Hegel. Create or amplify a problem. Provoke a reaction and then offer a solution that expands control. Don't worry, we'll take care of it. It's not always scripted in a neat, cinematic way, but the pattern repeats beautifully. It's perfect. Crisis emerges. Fear spreads. People demand action. Do something. And in that moment, powers consolidate. New rules, new systems, new oversight. Always justified. Hey, I'm just giving people what they want. Sometimes they'll tell you want this. Anybody here? Is anybody here clamoring for a war in Iran? I don't think so. I'm not. I don't think you are. But whatever this justification is, it's always temporary. Except temporary has a way of becoming permanent real fast. And that's a very dangerous thing. You see how this has happened? Now, layer in, or layer on, I guess, the modern structure. See, you've got what many people call the deep state. I call it the deep state, police state, shadow government, ruling class, intel state. A lot of buzzwords. And then look at the mechanics of this. Networks of influence that outlast elections. This is the part which is the most important. This is deep state. This is the deep state. This is what people don't understand. This is the deep state. Structures that outlast elections, that outlast administrations, intel communities with long memories, long reach, bureaucratic systems. You've seen them. If you go to Washington, that operate regardless of who's in charge. On paper, they don't care. And to add to that a kind of a corporate layer, and then massive technology and massive technology companies that control communication and visibility and access. And what you've got is a system that has nothing to do with the plebiscite, nothing to do with the franchise, nothing. This isn't some kind of cartoon villain scenario, the bad guys. Remember Snidely Whiplash? Remember Boris and Natasha? The prototypical classic Russian. No. This is a convergence of power. This is government, corporate, technological, each reinforcing the other. That's exactly what it is. And then there's AI. Oh, dear God. Oh, my God. And right now, it feels like a tool. Feels kind of helpful, kind of cool, kind of neat, kind of efficient, kind of impressive, But think about where this goes. systems that can process every piece of datum that you generate, that you have, everything, every post, every movement, every purchase, every interaction, every intersection, every conversation, every thought, every transaction. Systems that can predict behavior. Minority Report's real. Systems that can influence decisions, shape outcomes, kind of direct you before you even realize it, and maybe before you even think about it. It's here. You don't need MK Ultra for that. I'll do it for you. See, that's not science fiction. It's trajectory. It's the arc. And you know what is the real challenge? This is even more interesting. What's really interesting is it's not just uncovering facts. This is where Candace comes in also. It's maintaining clarity in an environment that's designed to destroy it, to erode it, to cripple it. It's resisting the pull to turn on each other. And we can't turn on each other. It's recognizing that, when outrage is being manufactured and exacerbated and pushed and provoked and prodded, that's when division becomes amplified. Big time. Because let me tell you something. Here's the trap. And I know you're smart enough to understand this. If you spend all your time arguing with people who are just as confused as you are, you're doing something else, somebody else's work for them. Remember, don't argue with your neighbor. They're not in charge. Don't blame them. I mean, it may be fun sometimes. Life's not cable news. The real power structure doesn't need you to agree with it at all. It needs you to be distracted. Let me say this again to you. This is the part which is so critical. It doesn't care whether you are the way it is. Now, here we go. Candy lost her mind. Waste of talent. All right, Tess. Anybody think that? No. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate that, sir. You're entitled to it. But you know what I would appreciate even more? Tell me why. Tell me, are you satisfied with the investigation as to the dispatch of Charlie? I'm not. Are you satisfied with the efforts of law enforcement to detect? I'm not. So she's not either. So is that indicative of some kind of losing your mind? Well, if that's true, if that makes you lose your mind, I guess I've lost mine too. But please, welcome. I'd love to hear you articulate more. Our good friend, J.B. Burnington says, Lionel, you nailed it. It's all about them trying to divide us. Last couple of years, I've been reaching out to the other side with kindness. Can be tough. Oh, forget that. Don't even bother. I mean, you can if you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just stay focused on this. You see what they're doing? Think about this. And Mr. Edison brought this up. See, nobody's ever going to tell you that what Candace Owens is ridiculous. Like, Candace, listen, there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that this idea of Mr. Robinson not being the sole participant in this particular murder case there's no evidence. Tammy, you're out of your mind. What are you Tammy? I want to say Tammy. Candace, you're out of your mind. What are you talking about? You're crazy. Believe me, if she said, I'll tell you who did it. The mother, Lori, Franz. We'd say, what? It's the mother, Lori. No, I don't think so. Yes, it is. No, I don't think so. Nobody would say, listen, we have to agree with Candace because obviously we love her. No, it doesn't work like that. That would be crazy. Astrology says, I will counter Tesla guy. Candace has been spot on. Oh, she's been, oh. The timelines. Have you seen those? The tarmac hug? Jesus. I mean, can you believe the incremental, particular, microscopic referencing of dear God, it's incredible. Absolutely, positively, 100% Incredible. That's crazy. Going after tail numbers. Oh, and then you bring in Barron and you bring in other people as well and their work, and you put it together, and it's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. That's crazy. Out of their mind. The cease and desist letters, wolves and finance, whatever. Incredible. Is he out of their mind? Who's out of their mind? Who? Is there any indication that Candace is hearing voices? I don't think so. Well, what do you mean by that? See, that's all they've got. And believe me, the best thing right now, if Candace were here, if she, let's just assume she were right here and she said, I don't know how much people really care for me. Oh, yeah? You want to see? Watch this. Hey, Tesla, dude, say that again. She's out of her mind. Any questions? It invigorates us. It's like throwing a piece of bread into a pond. It looks so calm. And all of a sudden, all of a sudden, there's fish, carp, and koi and all this. That's what you do. You invigorate us. We forget what this is about. We need you, good sir. Thank you. Reminds us who we're fighting. But it's not about her. It's about truth. It's about the truth. It's about her. And we're not going to be distracted. It's about Charlie. Who did it? That's all. This is not about we don't like her. We think Erica's ugly. No. Nobody cares about it. Believe me, if she went away. No. That's not what it's about. It's about this thing called justice. And I can't believe it. And this miserable district DOJ, they don't care about Epstein. They don't care about this. You had Dan Bongino and Kash Patel sitting in front of you saying, there's really nothing here at all. And even Trump said, I don't know where he got this was. There's nothing to do with Epstein. To say, who told you to think this? Dear God, no. What's the matter with you? It's a very simple thing. But understand something, my friends. They want you distracted. That's what this is all about. See, that's where the discipline comes into this. You see, you have to ask yourself. You have to ask better questions. Not just what is happening, but why is it being presented this way? Who benefits from this narrative? Why now? Why this framing? Why the way it's presented? Why this amplification? Why? That's the most important thing. You have to be willing to sit with uncertainty and indecision sometimes. Instead of, rushing to the nearest explanation, you got to wait a little bit. Because premature certainty is one of the easiest ways to be manipulated. And they want you to do that. Just take it easy. Come. Remember, it's their story, not ours. You also have to recognize patterns. Patterns and recurrence and frequency. Repetition. Messaging that appears across different platforms at the same time. Using identical language that feels coordinated, performative, curated. Narratives that, all of a sudden pop out of nowhere, fully formed as if they were just waiting to be dropped. You've seen it before. You've seen how media will do that. That doesn't mean every pattern is a conspiracy. It means some patterns are not organic, is what it means. That's all. And here's the part that matters most. Listen and listen carefully. It's a hand fart for you, and I mean this out of love. Especially for younger folks. Listen to Grandpa here. You are the most connected generation. I say this all the time in history. You have more access to more information than any group before you ever. But that also means you are the most targeted, and your attention is the commodity that they focus on. Your perception is the battleground. Does that make sense to you? If you lose the ability to think independently, to question, to step outside the stream, then none of the access really matters. You've got to understand critical thinking skills and perseverance, perseverance, perseveration sometimes maybe. So what do? You ready for this? I said this before. I hope you saw this in my prior message, my message. I think you saw this. Our good Zaman says, Lionel, if you solve CK's demise, you will solve JFK's. You know what? I think we already have in a very strange way, as far as JFK goes. But not to my liking, but I thank you for this. But this reminds me, this is what's important. This is what you need to do. And I said this before. First, number one, stop assuming that everything is random. I can't say that enough. Stop thinking that everything is just, oh, that was interesting. Not everything is orchestrated, but then again, not everything is accidental either. Know the difference. Know the patterns of recursive or reoccurrence. Second, stop fighting each other. I've been saying this, not as the default. Stop calling names. This is not about, and I know Mr. Tesla, thank you for this, but it's not about, don't say Candace has lost her mind. No. It's, why has the story lost its mind? Disagreement is fine. That's terrific. Debate is healthy. But constant, this internal conflict and all that, it drains energy and focus. It doesn't really make any sense. So tell me why the theory is wrong. Not why Candace is crazy, because she's not crazy. A third, start documenting. Oh my God. Save, curate information. Archive it. Pay attention to timelines, because memory is short. And also it can be manipulated. Don't forget what Tesla said. Not Tesla. Tolstoy said. What did he say? Oh, yes. History would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. It's my favorite phrase of all time. Memory is short. Records last. Next. What is that? 4, whatever. Learn how systems work. Not just politics, but technology and media incentives. Once you understand what incentivizes people, then you start understanding behavior. This is classic. You know this, right? This is operant conditioning. This is classic. Our good friend Tesla or Edison says, most people in this chat are marks for timeshares. Okay. Thank you. Did you hear that? He says you're a mark for a timeshare. He's suggesting that you're not. And that's further. He says you're easily manipulated. And again, I'm telling you, Mr. Tesla, just tell us what we're thinking that's incorrect, and we'll perhaps be there. The next point, sir. Maybe this applies to you. Stay grounded. Beware of fear. Fear is a tool. Panic is a tool. All of this works against you. And if you're overwhelmed, then you're easier to steer. So calm down. I was watching this documentary yesterday, and the fellow who did it kept saying, I just have anxiety. Stop with the anxiety. Quit saying you have anxiety. What the hell's the matter with you? Should I have a child now? Oh, shut up. People have been saying this at the beginning of time. What, you're the first one to think about this? Grow up, butch up, grow a backbone, grow a pair. Stop being a pussy. Just be tough. You're not the only one. Remember, fear is okay, but just keep moving. I don't care if you're afraid, but stop telling everybody how scared you are. Oh, my God. Oh, Candace, do you think? Listen to what she's saying. And stay away from timeshares. And finally, this do not check out. See, that's the end game. They don't want control through force, but control through apathy. They just want you to say, the hell with it. Tune in, tune out, tune over, turn up, whatever hell it is. That's what it's about. And it's very, very simple. And by the way, you got to understand something. Astrology says Elon played a part in CK as well. Okay. Good. Do you know that if I were to sit here and say, okay, here's Elon, here's CK, here's Mark Zuckerberg, here's Trump, here's Tucker Carlson, here's Rupert Murdoch, Tucker Carlson, Rupert Murdoch, Tucker Carlson. Oh, and then here's Joe Kent. Joe Kent is CIA. CIA is, now we're going to be doing this all day long. If you are in a system of Washington or whatever, you're going to know everybody. Megyn Kelly, I don't know why I'm just bringing her up. Megyn Kelly knows Savannah Guthrie, whose mother, Nancy, and then this, and then Bob. Okay, so we have all these pins and these the yarn, and we connected. What does this mean? I don't know. What does that mean? I don't know. Correlation versus cause. Correlation versus cause. The majority of people who are watching this right now are white. Therefore, white people care more about politics than black people. Wait a minute, what? No, that's not. No. Oh, there's more white people here. Wait a minute. What kind of a sample is this? You people who are hooked on heroin initially started off on marijuana. Therefore, marijuana is a gateway drug. No. Well, they started with that. They also watch cartoons and mother's milk. What does that mean? Well, correlation versus cause. Doesn't matter. Think better. Think deeper. What do we need? Very simple. What questions would you not be asking if there were no Candace Owens? Answer, none. You'd be asking the same questions. Let me say that again to our friend, Mr. Tesla. If there were no Candace, if Candace says, I'm going to be in the hospital, God forbid, for 6 months, or I'm going to be going on vacation with my family, I won't be around. Okay. We're still going to be talking about that. Who owns the Epstein narrative? No one. The facts do. Who is misleading us on Epstein? No one. Whom do we attack and eviscerate and excoriate and extirpate and execrate and blaspheme and libel? As you, sir. What you call this? This is called this is one of my new favorite words, epitemesis. The censure. You're epitemetic. That's what you're doing. What? What's your goal? You're a shit stirrer. I know how that works. Believe me, one of the best. What I did. But the point is, none of this involves this. Loch Ness Monster people, ultra MAGA her. Okay. Now we're getting into my friend. Listen, I got to give you some tips. You don't know how to do this. Loch Ness Monster. No. Here's what you do. For example, what I would do. I would say, Candace is all wrong about the tarmac hug timeline. She misread the time, and she's missing massive pieces of data. Okay, is that true? No. But why is it important? Because I was specific. Ooh, that was good. Yeah. No, I appreciate what you're saying, but you don't understand. He was arguing with a friend of mine about Catholicism. Not really arguing. I said, well, you're right, but you're right. You really don't understand transubstantiation. Huh? What? As opposed to, and you believe in the Loch Ness Monster. That doesn't work. Give her something that you claim she doesn't know anything about. That's the way to do it. But then again, that's Tesla. You got to know enough about the facts to do that. And remember, I'm not saying it's true, but tell her something that this guy's talking about a specific. I was talking to somebody about JFK the other day. Oh, the JFK this. I said, what about the missing? What about the windshield, the repair, the single bullet, which basically negates and obviates and destroys any notion of a lone gunman? Huh? See? So you pick apart a fact. You don't say, you're crazy. All you conspiracy JFK people, you believe in Sasquatch or Yeti or Elvis is alive. That doesn't work, does it? That's what I'm trying to help you, my friend. You got some potential. I could give you a few tips here and there. Know a couple of facts, and then act like they haven't been substantiated. When in fact they have, but it'll throw people off. See? That's the way to do it. But we invite you. We're nice to you, aren't you? Everybody nice to Tesla or Edison? I like that. Bringing up Tesla. I like that. Tesla, what a great, great, great man. Died in the New York hotel. New Yorker, 8th Avenue. Right, honey? New Yorker hotel, 8th Avenue. They found him. Just incredible. And you know who was the worst involved with him? Westinghouse. Don't leave him out of the equation completely. So anyway, he said, that's okay. Let's remember this. Another thing, whenever you deal with somebody who's objecting to something you're saying, never, ever, ever directly you speak to them like they're crazy. And remember this, whatever somebody says, especially somebody who is like your boss or somebody who has some kind of a creative suggestion. Oh, interesting. And then move on. Interesting. What does that mean? I don't know. Interesting. Rancid flatulence is interesting. The Schrodinger's cat is interesting. I don't know what that means. It doesn't commit. It just is interesting. It's called being, you're patting them on the head. You're being dismissive. You're being patronizing. Oh, that's very nice. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's interesting. Oh, good for you. Very good. I see. Yes. Aha. Yes. Listen, we get all these people. And listen, you're talking to somebody who had to deal. By the way, 25 years ago, this year is 9/11. Oh my God. Oh my God. Not only do you have those folks, but when you come along and say, well, how do you explain the whole building 7 thing? What? So it works the other way too. Always make sure you know the facts of the case. Anyway, that's all. Well, look, we've done an hour and 26. You've been so bright. By the by, thank you. Not for me, but for the love that you have shown my wife. She has been on the phone. It's tomorrow, and you're going to be interviewing some parents, right? Correct? The parents who were not the litigants per se, but people who were in the courthouse in LA, who themselves were involved in this. By the way, here is Mrs. L's. This is her. I've got it here. Her not her website, but her sign up for the YouTube video. And also, by the way, at the front of this in the discussion section, you have that. So she's got videos coming up. Also, the role of Mike Johnson. Also, what you need to know to be wise, to know what's going on. She has devoted so many hours. Also, with these parents. But your niceness, your kindness, seriously, is just so appreciated. So appreciated. And we cannot thank you enough for that. So please support her, because she's doing this. This is God's work, as far as I'm concerned. So follow her at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Lynn's Warriors. And I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how this is done, but there's a lot of folks who don't want her to talk about certain topics. And she's going to say, I'm going to keep talking about it, because people have to. And you have no idea the wealth. If you go to her channel, you can see people who are just so expert, but the family members. So anyway, that's terrific. And I thank everybody today. What a great time this has been. Seriously, thank you. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. I hope everybody's doing great. Thank you for this. Thank you for your focus, by the way, your incredible focus and your kindness. Remember, always be nice to each other. We're never going to turn on each other. Turn on the bad guys. We're not the bad guys. And everybody, even Mr. Tesla, welcome. You're always welcome here. You've been a gentleman, I think, gentlemen. You've comported yourself. You may be a bit rebarbative, well, for example, here we go. Flat Earth people. There we go. That's a good one. Oh, also, flat Earth people, and also people who believe that Elvis is alive. That's also a good one. And by the way, thank you for hitting us with your slow ball. We've knocked it out of the park each time. We appreciate that. And even though you have not been able to even ferret, or I should say, to combine even the slightest of facts that pose a serious contradictory problem and would form a problem, even though you've hit us with nothing, you're nonetheless welcome, good sir. We will treat you with dignity, even though you don't know apparently what you're talking about. And that's okay, because who better to serve than the ignorant? Sure, you don't know anything, but you know what? We're here to help you. And you come back anytime. And believe me, sometimes we need you. Sometimes, I hate to say you, sometimes the blind can remind us how important it is to be able to see. And I leave that with you. Anyway, have a great and a glorious day. You are absolutely just splendid. Have a great and a glorious time. Please like this video. It's important that you like this video. Please subscribe here, and also hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Got a whole bunch coming up. Thank you, my friends. We love you. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. Lynn's Warriors on YouTube. And until next time, my friend, remember the monkey's dead. Show's over, sue ya. That.